All right. So we do have Wormkin, and we do have Wormkin Exile as our starter here. Double Echo Transfers, double Wildwood Sap, as well as Ambient Charge. Echo Transfer is a great way to scale damage. The Ambient Charge itself, applying Consume to drawn spells, as well as having 2 Consume cards in the base deck, feels pretty good when we've got Echo right, considering Etch is related to 2 of the kinds of archetypes for them. Snappy Garchomp 2, thank you very much for the Prime subscription for the 3rd month. Enjoy your moments in chat, and welcome back to the Republic. If you got a time turner, you would need to buy multiple computers to record with. Thankfully, I actually, as soon as I said the time turner thing, I was like, but, the space displacement. Actually, I have, the PC downstairs that is almost complete, save for the motherboard and CPU at the moment. So I can at least do 2. I've not seen the DLC yet. What does the Wormkin do from different clans that is different? I will give a very, very quick rundown here at the top of the stream. If possible, maybe could we clip this, and then I'll try and link that in a command so that I don't have to explain it too many times over. So the Wormkin starting artifact is Wormtooth. Clan starter cards are infused. 1 card in each draft pack will be infused. When an infused card is played, the current floor will gain a Charged Echo. Charged Echoes are a per floor resource that you can gain or expend to trigger certain events. For instance, gaining any amount of Charged Echoes will trigger the Inspire keyword on minions. The Inspire keyword is similar to an Incant keyword, right? Gives them some positive related to the fact, or gives the enemy some negative even, related to a certain trigger. You also have the Extract keyword, which is using Charged Echoes from a floor that are stored there in order to gain some effect. At the end of turn, you will be reduced down to the maximum amount of Charged Echoes you can have on that floor, but you can overcap in a single turn. It's just at the end of that turn, you jump back to just the amount that you can hold. By base, that's 4. It can be modified upwards using relics, using some cards. There are a few different ways to accomplish that. There's also eggs in this clan. Eggs have the keyword shell on them. Shell is a stack as well, so shell 8 is a thing that you might see. And a unit that has shell 8 will try and eat candies from its current floor at the end of round until it has consumed enough to break all of its shell, 1 candy per shell, and then it'll hatch into another minion. All right, that's it. Ain't no way this fits in the clip? Okay. Fair. Fair. All right. Let's jump in. Marsh Lord the Shellsmith. Guess this really depends on what we're doing with our Divine Temple. So we've got an Awoken Banner next to a Merchant of Magic. Merchant of Magic. How many of the hits do I want? I want Holdover. I want... Probably not. Regen, right? You typically work with armor. Honestly, like... The fact that the Shellsmith typically works... Not just the Shellsmith, but also Echo Right by base typically works with armor. So on the base level, it's not really working that much with armor, but the second level is working with armor again, and then from then on out, the second level, it comes out with armor. That is not to say the egg comes out with armor, but the one that hatches comes out with armor. I don't think we'll need too much regen support in this deck. Just feels like an inefficient way to accomplish everything we want to do. So there's a Wormkin Banner with a Merchant of Steel next to a Wormkin Banner with a Merchant of Steel. Ideally, we would try and get Wormkin Banner, Merchant of Steel, upgrades, Hellvent. Right? So if that's our idea, then we're probably going Marsh. Alright. Whoa! Wing Clippings! Spell cards with the Consume have a 50% chance to be discarded instead. And there's also Iron Drop Cage. So Iron Drop Cage, as far as I'm aware, there's no Ascend or Descend in Wormkin. There is in Awoken. There's, the Retreating Descent. That's very little. However, Wing Clippings would be removing a lot of my ability to utilize this Etch. I still think I'm going to go with Wing Clippings, but Little anti-synergistic here. How does wing affect etch? If you attempt to etch and the wing saves the card, you will not get that etch trigger. Good to see you, Zara. Quite good on yourself. Alright, Echo Right and the Train Steward want to go on the top line. We'll pop the Train Steward there so it chump blocks and loses its M Drain. Nice. So we have to take 3 damage on that line, but could be a lot worse. Hey! Ah, why? Why must the collector? Why? Well, butts. Well, butts. I just wanted money. Is that so unfair for me to want? 2 and 3. Yeah, we should just go with this. These are going to go to the top line and they're going to deal 3 damage total. But if that one survived and, you know, not drawing any damage in the following hands, it could have. That would have been really tragic. Okay, so this has only got 2 more shell on it. Okay, well, there we go. At least it's hatching now. All right. There we go. Just 1 second. Very quickly setting up this command. Exclamation mark. Wormkin. Okay. So, exclamation mark Wormkin should now pull up that blurb. Much appreciated, device. Shelter! Yes! That's a great pickup. Doesn't this champ remove a shell when you consume a card? It didn't seem to happen when you played the last regen card because the last regen card was saved by wing clippings. So it just wasn't likely to happen at all. Glimmer. AoE damage against enemies? Spikes wouldn't stay on the egg, right? I mean, the +4 damage would. Wormkin, Banner, Glimmer. You think they do? You think it might pass down? Really? Says it keeps everything? I don't think it says it keeps everything. I think it says it keeps... Oh, what does it say? There's what specific words it says. It's the hatch keyword I'm looking for, but I haven't got it there. I can look at the logbook, I guess, right now. Alright, let's jump across to Wormkin. What I'm looking for is hatch. Hatch. Ooh, there we go. Okay, hatch. Once all shell is removed, the unit dies, triggering its hatch ability. Apply the egg unit's upgrades. So, egg unit's upgrades. That's the upgrades to the unit itself. And stat changes to the summoned unit. So, no, armor wouldn't stay. Glimmer or Steel Enhancer? I really, really, really do need to find a way to consistently gain candies because I'm not going to be using my consumption in order to open those eggs. Is Spikes considered an upgrade? No. It is considered a buff. I mean, Glimmer literally just to have a little bit of AoE might be just worthwhile. This early on? Yeah. Unfortunately, we're very unlikely to be able to get a unit nested inside another unit now. It's fine. Oh, but maybe that means I want to go and try and, like, ultra buff a spell instead? Although I guess if I do want to do that, I can still do that in the Divine... No, I can't still do that in Divine Temple, right? Because... So, hang on. If we get Spell Chain, is Spell Chain good for us? Yes. We put Spell Chain on Shelter, we have a grand old time. Then we put, like, cost reduction on it. Spell Chain and Value Stone share the same mark. Hey, T! Says good luck on the learning train. Lots to unpack, but the ceiling is so high. It definitely is. Thank you very much. What do you say? I think I actually may end up going for the Merchant of Magic here. Right? Because Glimmer getting cost reduction as well as Extreme Stone is really nice. If we get Value Stone, that's a little bit of a whiff for us. Unless we also get Double Stack or Consume Removal, right? And then we go those two. It feels like the Merchant of Magic and the Divine Temple will actually give us a far better card to end up in the next area, Hellventing and duping. My concern after that point is that my final banner is an Awoken banner if I do avoid this Wormkin. So suddenly I have a double Awoken unit. What double Awoken units really want to go in this deck? Well, double Echo Transfer is in this deck, so... I don't know, some sort of a Willful Animus, perhaps? Though, if you reduce a spell to -1 from Value Stone and then give it Spell Chain, will it cost 1 or 0? 0 both times. Although, you know, you're using a Value Stone to save 1 energy at that point, which, yeah, it can be good, but it doesn't have to be ridiculous. Holdover. Okay, that's particularly interesting. Let's look at the Divine Temple. There's the Spell Chain. Plus 10 Magic Power and Piercing. We could take both of those, actually. That's an Animus of Will, baby. Although that's a Thorned Hollow. Are we Spikes? Are we Spikes, though? Because maybe we're Spikes, though. We have a lot of healing cards, as well as 2 giant regen consume cards. Top floor, 3-size Thorned Hollow. A 2-size Echo Rite stands behind them. We have the ability to use them as kind of sweep. We currently have nothing that really cares about the Rejuvenate triggers on that floor, but we have a bunch of cards that are infused with the Rejuvenate triggers that we want to play. The Champion takes up 3 spots? It does, but this takes up 3 spots. We put this down first, then we play the Champion, which takes up 2 spots, and summons a 1-pip minion afterwards. It will exceed the floor capacity, but it will work. Which essence would be good with the Thorned Fellow? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Because, you know, on the alternative, just to, you know, give a little bit of a note to it, we do have the double Echo Transfer, so Animus of Will would go nuts. But Animus of Will going nuts is something I do a lot. Thorned Hollow? Not so much. Last boss removes buffs? No, it doesn't. This is Seraph the Temperate. I want to put a Shadow Eater in the Thorned Hollow. What does Shadow Eater just have a resolve? Gain 5 HP at the end of the turn, deal 5 HP to all enemies? Is that what it does? Last boss removes attack? Oh, sorry, you mean against the Animus of Will that it would be removing attack? Yeah, it would, but we'd be outscaling that. It wouldn't matter. That's too bright. Spike Essence here is plus 15, plus 15, plus 1 to capacity, as well as Spikes 10. Let's do it. Let's do it. I haven't done that super commonly. Thorned Hollow, break yourself upon my body. Very much the kind of vibe it's going to be going for, right? That changes something. What does that change? That changes that I no longer need holdover on Glimmer. because AoE is not as important to us. Should that be something that changes? Maybe I still give it holdover in the +10. What I do know is spell chain 100% here goes on shelter. Does it go on shelter anymore? We're doing regen stuff. That's how our front line is surviving. There's not enough sweep to really threaten our backline consistently. Spell chain 2 again gives you another copy when you play the card, gives you another copy into your hand that has +1 cost and purge. I was all keen on the shelter until I realized that we're not necessarily going that direction, at least. It's not impossible to do it to ambient charge, it's just we would need more energy. Wildwood spell chain, like put it on Wildwood Sap. That's not awful. We can do that. Spell chain that, reduces cost. So it's basically a double stack, right? Is what we've done there. But a double stack that cost us 2 upgrade slots. Would it even be horrible on a restore? It wouldn't, but I would do the Wildwood Sap before I would do the restore. So it's good on the restore specifically because it's 2 very early triggers of rejuvenate, but I think we care more about the consistency than we care about early triggers of it. It's not like double stab. Double stab is cheaper. Well, no, I'm saying like taking, sorry. This part was in my head. When I said it takes 2 upgrade slots, it's because we would take this and then reduce the cost. What about on Glimmer and then add +1 or +10? Playing Glimmer and then playing another copy of Glimmer on that turn is not necessarily a great way to approach it. I don't think, at least. Was the other upgraded thing in the middle? This is Engaging Pact. You have the ability to sacrifice a unit to put it into another unit to change their stat line. If I sacrifice, for instance, the Thorned Hollow, the minion that I sacrifice it into would gain all of the stats at the top of the screen. Train Steward, 515, that kind of thing. Okay, well, what do we know, right? Glimmer is definitely getting this. Hundo P. Hundo P. Happy about that. Do I give that holdover now? Maybe, but I wouldn't want to then dupe that. Alright, fine. I'm gonna generate a regen engine. It's just, this is sweep that I already have. You know what? I think I hold off. I think I keep my 250 and just wander on. Surge Stone can go in an Echo Break, though. That's easy. So duping here is going to be duping an additional copy of the Wildwood Sap. And then I may end up just cutting the other one from the deck, right? Just using that as effectively a giant upgrade. Wormkin Banner. What? Okay, we'll take just a second here. I want to check out which Wormkin units I would actually want to infuse here, if we have the option. Wormkin, unit, toggle their essences. Okay. Definitely not. Definitely not. +5 and Etch. Apply Reap 2 to enemy units. Also no. Armor 10 Strike. No. Inspire for that, as well as the capacity size. No. Maybe Glugsider, but then I have to find another way to manage my minion sizes and such. Not the Bog Deep Cocoon. Not the Keeper of Echoes. Not the Kinhost Carapace. Not the First of Kin. Okay, yeah, no, so I'm sticking to the other side then. Cool. Alright, it's good to have the game plan in mind. Well done, Markid. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Enjoy remotes and chat. And welcome back to the Republic. Says evening Raps. How's the day going? It's going quite well. Been a little bit short so far. Number of enemy units sent to a spikes 3. Yep, that makes sense. Why no egg sacrifice? Because the effects from it are very, very, very minimal. You can only sacrifice one unit into another unit. You can only make it to Duckin. You can't go the extra layer down. And so instead, I more highly value other things we could do there. It's just put as much regen out as I can. It's very simple. How can you possibly be short, Raps? You're right. I am never a day late. I am definitely not $1 short. Hey! We glimmer there on the bottom line, buying us a little bit more time up here on the top. We can get a little bit of armor out of it. It's so kind of these enemies, yeah. Just to walk towards their own death. It's another shelter. Echo Infusion. Echo Infusion's not nothing. The Thorn Toller will eventually need to be able to take a bunch more damage than it currently can take in a single turn. Its max is 55 right now. We're probably not going to large stone it, so we probably end up Heartstone. We'll still take it. Ooh. I wasn't going to take this Sting, but it is infused. And we do just need cheap infusions so that we can fund the, excuse me, extracts. All right. Jumping over this way. What do you got for us, Divine Horde? Ooh. Wow. Can I have all of these, please? Petrified Crucible. Spiked deal +1 damage per stack. It's probably the one that we have to take. Notice Stone. When a card with Consumer's Blade, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of the battle. Feels bad not to be able to take that. In case Divinity. Feels bad not to be able to take that, but I would have preferred either of the other two, so that's, you know, eliminated. Eliminated as well, because Petrified Crucible is literally just double damage on stacks of spikes. It's just... It's one of the pieces of a spike build. Y'all, I am actually just going to quickly take a second here to just change the brightness on this just a little up. There we go. That looks more naturalistic when we get into this scene. Okay. Oh. It's one of those, eh? I did say I wanted a restore engine. Do I really put 5 Wildwood Saps in this deck now? Just like copy 5 Wildwood. They're not infused though. It's a lot of regen. Let's go to the moon. Okay, so this Hellvent is a little, a little bit more difficult now. It's probably Glimmer. We need draw. There is the possibility of doing the sting, yes. It's not awful. It's the value of having Glimmer that is piercing to me. No, I'm taking the Glimmer. It's the value of having it being piercing that matters so much to me. Because later on, everything has Spell Shield and Divine Shield, Damage Shield rather, sorry. Just everything's in a pretty rough position later on. Not yet, though. We're doing fine at the moment. Thorn Hollow, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. And you know what? I'm just going to break that as well. Did that discard or consume it? Consumed! Yay! So the Bog Crystal would cost. I'm out of it. Weed Titans 3. Here, Rhapsody got a question for you. Whoop. What's that? Did you ever finish that Outer Wilds playthrough? Not yet, unfortunately. PC issues took the stream down for a little bit of time. And now that we're back, we have a game that we absolutely must play. Push unit to the back. Talus? Talus, that's not kind of you. Talus, I'd go so far as to say that's deeply rude. How dare you? Here we go. We can actually get that down still. This is already breaking, regardless of whether or not I Echo Infuse. Although, if I consume with the Wildwood Sap... Yeah, let's consume with the Wildwood Sap. Let's do that first. Just in case that got the Bog Chrysalis open. It did not. You are base stats right now, so I will actually Echo Infuse you so that you split out to both Ballflies. One more day for the new PC, yeah. No. The shop that I was talking with says they might have it in by the end of the week. So it'll be up to 3 more days. I don't need to Echo Transfer here, and we still get that down. But we'll want Echo Transfer more by the time we have Forged Discipling out, I think. It takes all of the damage off of these two and gives it to the backliner. That's removing 20 damage. No, I think I just keep stacking Echoes there. Try and get some lifesteal off of Talos. Yeah, definitely don't want to be extracting on this floor. If at all we can avoid it. Why must this be the ordering of my party, please? Please explain to me why this is an essential fact. Taking a decent couple chips of damage here, I'll say that much. You're currently a boss murderer. How do you deal with waves? The spikes on our frontliner are going to be consistent to deal with waves. That's also another reason to have the dupe of the Glimmer. It's hard when they give you fun toys all across the board, right? Divine Temple up next. We could value stone the Spreading Spores, possibly. We could even value stone the Cycle of Life. What's Shard's Essence? Oh, Shard Channeler's Essence. Spikes 5 and Resolve applies Spikes 2 to friendly units. The thing is, we're really good at regen already. So spreading spores is a really good way to gain more regen than the game usually allows you to get, because a lot of regen sources are either very expensive, awake, very little regen on them, restore, or they consume, wildwood sound. What spreading spores is really good at is giving you regen consistently, right? Giving you the ability to consistently stack it. However, we don't need that. Unnecessary. This is a bait. Other than the infusion, this is actually a pretty big bait. Now, Cycle of Life. With a value stone? Maybe not bait. Shard Channeler? We would have to... No, because it's not a priority draw, so we would have to have way too much space or an Ascend to be able to take the Shard Channeler, so we can't take Shard Channeler. Which means it's Cycle of Life. Or you put it inside. I don't think we put that inside. Let's take one check at some of the unit essences in the Awoken clan, because that's what we're really looking at right here, the possibility of. Toggle unit essence, there we go. Okay, so the Awoken Hollow does have Rejuvenate, Cultivate 2. That would be a good thing to join in, but then obviously I have to get the capacity for it as well. Shattered Shell, +3, +10, and Slay, +3. A unit that has spikes is going to be doing a lot of slaying. Hey, Dane. Good to see you. Husk Hermit, just put a +30 on it. I would actually take just straight up a +30 from an essence. More than happily. Summon add 3 sting spells to your hand? Yep. This isn't relevant because it won't turn up there. Wilting Sapwood? Yep. Put that in too. So 1, 2. Those are both rares though. Worth noting. Unlikely. Common, I would take. Common, I would want to take, and I would try and find a way to utilize, but we might not be able to utilize it immediately. Husk Hermit I would definitely take and utilize. Edge Prize, not a banning unit, so we wouldn't be seeing it. Neither is Shard Channeler. We have a lot of not whiffs. We have a decent amount of not whiffs there, so I don't think I have to take the Shard Channeler here. Oh. That's our +30. Okay. Do I now take draw or energy? Draw first, energy second. Oh, yeah! A mysterious woman stands before you. A mischievous smirk painted on her face. You feel a strange force emanate from her presence. A pressure so strong, you worry the Bone Shaker might collapse. Remember me, Hellborn? You probably don't, thanks to the loop, but it's Malika, your bestie. Last time you wanted to play cards, but that was boring. So let's try something else. I had 3 trinkets, all of which will make your life much worse than it already is. Take some. If they kill you, I win. If they don't, you win. Take as many trinkets as you can bear to carry. I think we can probably take the Broken Wheel. When a non-champion unit dies, it is purged. Not expecting that voice. I started out and I was like, let's go to a Harley Quinn kind of thing. And then I got halfway into the start of it and I was like, oh, right, I can't do that. Bats? No, it's like there's a highness in the back of the throat that I can't reach. At the moment, at least. Broken Wheel is often a huge upgrade. We're intending on using it to cut just Divines, the Train Seals out of the deck. Judgmental Fittings. Enemy units enter with damage shield 1. Can we take that? Maybe. At the end of turn, deal 4 damage to friendly units. Can we take that? 2 copies of Glimmer in the base deck, a bunch of Wildwood Saps? Maybe. How do you all feel about just... What are the upgraded artifacts? I only know the Corrupted Cloud one. I don't think this is impossible for us. Malika's eyes widens, happily surprised by your resolve. Adventurous this cycle, are we? Try to keep your wits about you and remember, death is not the end. Yeah, that's very far from Harley at the end. Alrighty then. We're still going over here to the Awoken and the Merchant. Because the Awoken could still have a different one that I would prefer. Like that! Like that! Well, is that actually good? Thorned Hollow is 1 cost, not 2. It's actually bad. that's actually not useful. Well. Alright. Divine Temple accepts my offering of a Husk Hermit to go into this Thorned Hollow. Thank you very much. Then we can Value Stone a Cycle of Life, 100%, definitely. We don't need Intrinsic on anything here. Unstable. I mean, we don't need to remove 2 Train Stewards again. Base Wildwood Sap is a little bit sad here, but it's just these Echo Breaks by base. They are infused. Yes, that is the only benefit to them for me right now. Ambient Charge might be powerful later on in the match. Not yet. Maybe in the future, though. Thankfully, the 2 Glimmers are both infused as well. Alright, plus 20 magic power and consume. Again, I can go on an Echo Break, possibly. I don't know about that. Reduction of costs. All of these restores can just be made 0 cost very happily. Consume removal? No. Doesn't need to be on anything. Don't you need Echo Break to pop DI now? Glimmer. I know we have a thick deck, but Glimmer is my intended solution for part of that. Maybe we even go for a holdover if we find one. Oh. I think it's now worth giving a holdover to 1 Glimmer. We won't always play it consistently, but when we need to play it consistently, we need to play it consistently. Okay, Kinhost Vessel. Glimmer does have Pierce, so it doesn't pop shields. Oh, I'm not talking about it popping shields. I'm talking about it killing the things through the shields. The damage shields that really scare me are the ones that are on a minion that otherwise would die to some trivial effect, but is now alive forever. Spell shield too? Yeah. Sure. Yo. Hollow goes behind. Echo right there. Regen, restore. I kind of want to sting on the top line. So I will. Excellent. Is this the holdover? This is the holdover. Good. Yeah, let's play it on the bottom line then. Because then we can play it on the top line and trigger a Rejuvenate trigger with it as well if we do want to kill that back line with it. I'm sorry I checked an hour ago. I need to update that stuff. Sorry. Has not been updated in a fair while. Do I need more regen than I already have on this unit? Because if I don't, I might benefit more from just throwing a different unit on a different line. Although that's possible etch triggers up here. Take 5 more. Yeah. Stop! I want the etch triggers! Stop! Stop having it not be work! You are powerful, friend. We really needed that Kinhos vessel to hatch a little bit earlier. Oh, hello. Good to see you. I could have sworn I just said something about you a couple seconds ago. I can't remember what it was, though. Okay. Yeah, it gets rid of spell shield before it gets rid of damage shield. Okay. That's 100. That's 15. That's another 30. Okay, so we can deal a decent amount of damage, so we can still take some upgrades on this floor. It's fine. Those will be swept as well. So time for the next run? Is it? No one told me. I feel like someone should have told me if it was time for the next run. Feels like that'd be pertinent information to me. Kinho's Pupa heard I was talking shit and didn't think that I would hear it. Didn't think that they would hear it. Rather. So you're streaming daily now? No, this is the last day this week. Except I believe I might go long after the Wholesome verse in a couple days time as well. Soul Siphon. I mean, Soul Siphon would set up on another floor to be able to use Ambient Charge or something like that, but I'm still not super jazzed about that. Return Soul. Broken Memory. Actually, might just skip these. Etch triggers random now? No, they aren't. I have wing clipping, so it's 50% chance that I'm not going to consume, which is going to prevent it from triggering. Pyrogro's not nothing. With all of the cost reductions and a Pyagro, we might actually be in the realm where we take just another draw gem, which is exactly the realm I like being in, as you might imagine. It is a bit of an anti-synergy. It's a pretty heavy anti-synergy, unfortunately. Okay, I'm definitely going to need some Pyromanes, so I don't really have too many choices there. Multi-strike. I was thinking about that. Would I actually put Multi-strike on Thorned Hollow? If I had the Gnarled Root relic, for spikes, you gain the same attack. Yeah. Yeah, I would. Do I want to plan around the possibility of that? Because it's just damage, right? It's just damage that I have to secure before the next area. I don't know. I do want to get 2 upgrades into the Thorned Hollow before I go into the Concealed Cavern, just in case it is another upgrade and we start to evade the limitations. So currently Thorn Hollow's max health is 85. That's not enough to survive all waves. Being the frontline unit, that's not enough to survive all waves in the late game. What else would you put on it? I mean, it'd probably be multi-strike Strength Stone, multi-strike even Heartstone if we're really holding out for the Gnarled Root. Suron, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Johnny Devo, as well as for having resubscribed for the 8th month in a row. Enjoy remotes in chat. Welcome back to the Republic to you, as well as to Johnny. Thank you so much for getting the sub. I'll stone the Thorny Boy. I mean, that's the obvious thing, right? But I'm thinking about how do I project more damage. I guess I just have to hit my etch triggers faster. That's how we do it. Okay, Concealed Cavern. Gift of Gratitude, Heaven's Gold, Petty Theft. It might be Heaven's Gold. It'll save us from some real nasty stuff. And then obviously take the Divine Boons. Any more removals? Have we got all the train stewards out of the deck now? Only one? Ugh. Ugh. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up the floor. So the problem here is if a unit survives on the top floor, it goes, well, it'll go to the top floor without any armor. I think I'm okay. I think maybe 2 of them will make it past, but they'll die in 2 hits. And especially, oh my god, we got the Glimmer of the Holdover! Especially if we get this, then we're totally fine. Love it when a plan comes together. And I'm not going to sting on the bottom liner. Do it here, the continued etchery. Hitting any of those extra lines won't really help us. So I should just combo cast as much as I can here on the top floor. The thing is, Echo Transfer is really important, and we previously didn't appreciate that enough. I'm going to throw that there and then just throw out the Echo Transfer. Someone named Sean, thank you very much for the 16th month of a subscription in Joe Remotes in chat, and welcome back to the Republic. Purge the Steward? I do want to purge the Stewards, it's just that's not always my priority action. We have a lot of other things we need to do as well. It's fine. I'll hatch the Kinhost Vessel next turn, almost certainly with a Consume. And it still needs the stats. Here we go. Correctly broke that open. I really don't want a Pyagro right now. Do I not want a Pyagro right now? Maybe I do want a Pyagro in it. No, I don't need to Pyagro right now. Ow. Glimmer. Wildwood, restore. Wildwood. 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 This Glimmer has really, really been holding it down. Hey, did we just complete Malika's challenges, by the way? Oh, Train Steward, sack you. Here we go. Ooh, another Train Steward. We have one more in the deck that we haven't sacked yet. So we removed 3 Train Stewards with it, at least. That is, if it ends now. Which I'm assuming it does. Nice. Nice. Ooh, spells get an extra upgrade slot. All right, make that the 0 cost holdover glimmer. Even maybe extreme stone, the other one, make that a lower cost one. These could get. I don't really want to adjust them in any other way. Revenge of the Damned. Infuse extract 1, so it just casts. Deal 5 damage twice. Slay to gain 2 gems on that floor. We're not really good at utilizing that, unfortunately. Just because we're playing on the top floor, and a lot of the time we don't even have targets to hit the Slay on. The targets that are vulnerable to that are more vulnerable to Glimmer as well. Just take the money. This is the same choice I was offered just prior. Would I take the Engraft this time? For a single Rejuvenate trigger? Seems unlikely. Sorry, I just gotta flex a little bit. Sorry, I just got all these stiff muscles for some reason. Malika appears surprised before you, surprised by the fact that you're not dead. The pressure emanating from her presence continues to be nauseating. You only won because I went easy on you. Well, kudos for surviving this long. I'm going to take those trinkets back and give you your prize now. Maybe it'll help you smack the Seraph the whatever into oblivion for the umpteenth time. Maybe it won't. Either way, someone's gonna die, and I'm gonna watch. That's kind of the ballpark for like a Harley voice, I think, a little bit. Not what I did, but the Jewish Jersey Jewish grandma. Like that's kind of, it's got a little. All right. Corrupted Cloud. Restore 5 health at the end of each turn to all friendlies. Damage spells gain piercing from Judgmental Fittings. Friendly non-morsel units get endless. Game over, I quit. Or actually, I'm fine without these. I'm gonna take all of them. Thank you. I claim all of my prizes. There should be an extra prize for getting all 3 of them, right? Come on. Unit upgrades do very little for us. As much as I do want the Pyromanes here, the Merchant of Trinkets is huge with the amount of money that I have on me. There's the gnarled root! We found it! I mean, it's a significant amount of damage. We should still take it. Root Split Mask! Lock them on the top floor so they have to do it for another turn. Baby! What a wow! What a wow. Regen restores +1 health per stack, or when adding 1 or more candy to a floor, apply Reap 1 to an enemy unit twice. Serrated Mandibles is nice. I think we take Bloating Fungus. Let's look at the Divine Temple. That's another value stone, no extreme stone here. Everything is already piercing, so the value of the other one is lower than it otherwise might be. I think we skip. As much as Fungus is hilarious, it doesn't do anything. It's... yeah, whether or not it will be useful, I don't know. I think I saved the money here. I can't re-roll and definitely get it. It'll give us longer turns, I guess, against bosses. More relentless rounds. Get him. Get him. Does this have endless as well? No. Okay, good. Just making sure. Couldn't come back to hand. Cardless anyway. We get to our max HP really quickly. I think this time I will go with Pyagro. Trying to get as many consumes there as possible. Ooh, Cycle of Life. when it turns simple like that. We definitely need to echo transfer you, especially before you split. I mean, before or after you split, don't really matter. Nah, damage, shelter out. Nice. The fact that we're locking enemies on the top floor for 2 turns is absolutely crucial. Because they're not going to cut through my frontline unit, so we just get 2 turns worth of battle against them. It's like problematically good. Ambient charge draws us into actually a bunch of 0 costs. Nice. With our stuff being endless, wouldn't it be better to set up lower if we can? No. Because the top floor has the effect of the root split mask, which is a huge, huge impact for us. Secondarily, we really, we don't want to have to reset up Thorned Hollow and Echo Right, because then what? I'm relying on the whole floor dying, having both of those cards in the same hand next hand, so both of them dying on the same turn, then setting up again on the top floor, because we're doing this capacity exceeding stuff. There are more reasons, but I feel like right now I'm kind of just stacking on, so to speak, in kind of like a Australian parlance. Oh, and also, yeah, if we set up on the bottom lane, we'd be leaking the early enemies. That is the other very good and very foremost point. I was about to say a very obvious point, but it's a bit of a rude way to express that. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, your front line is immortal. Yep. Agreed. You got 66 spikes on you. You deal 132 damage to any enemy that attacks you. Like, at this point, I would choose to specifically give... Oh, wow. Bad shelter right there. I would specifically choose to give my opponents multi-strike. For no benefit, because it would be better for me. Just let that one resolve. I just realized how impractical that event actually is. If you can survive 3 battles with no unit deaths, you clearly won't be making much use of Endless. Same logic can be applied to others. No. No. I'm going to say no. Yeah, I'm going to go with a no on that. Because you can give Endless to Primordium. Ooh, Wildwood Tome. Root Split Mask is a terrible form of multi-strike for the enemies. That is true. That is true. Wildwood Tome isn't good for us here. At all. We specifically want all of the enemies to attack our thorns before we attack them back. 100% of the time. So, Unearthed Remains. I guess. It could be Unearthed Remains. It's not good to take. It's not bad to take. It's fine. The tome can't hurt. Yes, it can. 100% it can. Consider a circumstance where all of the frontline enemy units are weak. They're Wilt Wings, right? And then the backline enemy unit is big. It's a Clipped Guardian. If I make anyone quick, they kill a Wilt Wing that would have just died itself if it attacked my my Thorned Hollow's Thorns. And then that unit that attacked, so assume I put it on, you know, the Kinhost Pupa, right? The Kinhost Pupa is now dealing no damage to the Clipped Guardian, whereas in the inverse, where it's not quick, all of the Wiltwoods have died against my Thorns, and then the Kinhost is attacking the enemy with the most HP. It can hurt. Quick is not always good. I had a couple runs where I tried to take Quick in a couple different circumstances, and it just ruined us. And Sycophants. Yeah, Quick, Sycophants, I mean, we're past the point of the ones that come in with 2 rage that I've just forgot the name of. Sycophants, Wilt Wings, there's a couple other examples that are in that as well. Skip is always there for you. Skip is always here for me, right? Skip is always an option. But is Unearthed Remains slightly better than Skip? Do I ever want to retain more of them? I do right now, because of the whole Kinhost Pupa thing, but I'm not going to want to after. I just want more etch triggers. Skip. And it's definitely draw. We have no energy problems whatsoever. We're addressing that from like 7 different directions. It's supremely unnecessary. Skip is more fire damage. Point well made. Hellvent. What would I even Hellvent right now? Another copy of Cycle of Life, maybe? Maybe. I can put 2 more upgrades into a spell. We could go for the Divine Temple and Merchant of Magic. Like, maybe even double stack this and then Value Stone it again. An individual dupe does not currently present to us much value. So we go this time. Another holdover, more magic power. The Unstable Vortex as well as Conceal Caverns. Do I... Conceal Caverns. Yeah, we'll Conceal Caverns first. We'll look at what's in the Divine Temple before that, though. Spell Chain and Purge. Could use some more unit, or card removal, rather, here. Spell Chain. I could Spell Chain Cycle of Life and then reduce its cost. I kind of want to reduce the cost of Cycle of Life and then give it holdover, actually. Because then no matter what the unit is, I can fix their HP in a moment's notice. I'll think about it. Alright, Caverns. Huh. There's the Strength Zone option we saw prior. It might be time to take a Bone Shine, though. Oh, it purges? Did this always purge? I think it did always purge, and I'm just a dummy. I think, yeah, maybe I think I'm just a dummy. I mean, yeah, I could take a Bone Shine, but the thing is, it would just be 20 health for us. I'm kind of keen on the Strength Zone, to be entirely honest. It didn't before? Okay, wow, that did get changed then. Strength Stone, just plus 10 damage on the Thorned Hollow is not nothing. I think it just used to consume a few patches ago as a nerf. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I mean, to me, it's a buff, because oftentimes I would play it once when I wanted to, and then never again. But yeah, I can see how it could have been a little bit weird. As an aside, I don't think Egglord 3 is the right call. The Kinhost's multi-attack scales better with our Extract 2 buff. Okay. Yes, but the other one scales way better with all of our consumers. Get a Strength Stone. We don't want to put too much holdover on cards because then we decrease our ability to cycle through the deck as quickly as we would like. I could easily see plus 10 magic power on the Glimmer that has holdover though. Could easily see that. Hey, now this is a wholesome channel. No personal negatively. Oh, sorry. I'm guessing that's sarcasm based on something I said, but I don't remember what I said, which was the trigger. So if I did say something that was particularly negative, I do apologize. I promise I have not intended any negativity so far. Lemma. So far. Like I'm just about to suddenly really break into a diss track I have about every other streamer I know. Not my style. Yeah, let's go with that +10. I like that a lot now. Remove this and give it holdover. Call yourself a dummy? Oh, right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. I definitely do have a little negativity in some of my commentary when I dunk on myself. Sometimes I kind of perceive that as like, I'll get in first and dunk on myself so no one else can do it, right? Because if I pre-dunked, like I come pre-dunked, right? There's no dunking required. I'm all dunked. But, you know, I don't dunk on myself for any of my marginalized identities, which, you know, avoids the kind of Nanette trap that that was very common to talk about at least a year and a half, 2 years ago now. Holdover cycle does sound pretty good, but it's another holdover card. It's another holdover card. It'd totally be your style to make a diss track where you only say positive things about your fellow streamers. Yeah, and then just have like horns going off in the background, like I just said something real vicious, but it was just really polite. There are like compliment battles. I've seen compliment battles in kind of like rap battle scenes, both in America as well as Canada and the UK, where battle rappers will get together and they will just compliment one another, but do it in the style of if they were doing a rap battle and dunking on one another. It's really neat. It's really neat to see. Although a lot of it leans very, very heavily on like ha ha ha, but no homo. And then some of them go, well, okay, if everyone's going ha ha ha, but no homo, I'm just going to lean harder and not clarify. God. I definitely reduces cost, I'll tell you that much, right? I don't think I give it holdover. I don't think we need it. Holdover echo transfer, maybe? Try and get some faster scaling that way. I don't know if we need that either. I think it's fuller turned down there. I really, really, really wanted to be able to take one of those. Is that really leaning anymore? What other cards do you want instead of it being held over? It's more I want velocity through my deck, right? So I want to have the ability to get through all the way through the end of my draw cycle so that I can start getting back to my new draw cycle and playing more of the cards, trying to reconsume those effectively. And I want to try and get very quickly to my cards like Glimmer, to my cards like Cycle of Life, to cards like Echo Transfers. And every time I play a holdover card and put it in my next hand, I'm just slowing down my cycle through my own deck. There's also the possibility I, in the future, include cards that I want to get to more as well. Martial of 3. You're removing so many infused cards. Why keep that extract when you can play them? Why keep that Mani extract when you can play them? When you can't play them? Because I'll find a way to do it. It's kind of as simple as that. I won't be able to always play them, but I'll play them when I can. And it'll be really good then. It's also worth noting, like, these are really bad cards to use for it, because, like, target my own units is the main thing I can really do. Consume. Sure, restore. There you go. We also do have a holdover card that has the gain on it. Stop preserving them! Stop it! Stop having it be a thing you do. Fine. Here we go. That's the hatch. Get them all blowed up. Let's hit you with the Echo Break, then a Giant Shelter, then Echo Transfer on you. Do I really want an Ambient Charge here? Considerable degree of this deck is 0 cost. Nice. Hit some solid zeros right there. This is the singlest of floor strategies. Oh, bonus points. Oh, bonus points. Oh, my sweet, sweet summer child. This is how I play Monster Train. This is very many of my runs. Alright, give me ambience. Perfect. It's not surely a Monster Train 1 without some form of overstacking. This is how I play my tower defense games. Yeah, I definitely play this game like a tower defense. Back when I started talking about this game, actually, when I just started playing it, I specifically mentioned tower defense as kind of like an adjacent strategy game, adjacent genre. Rhapsody is gradually approaching the 0 floor strat. It'll happen. Oh, it'll happen. Best believe. See how easy it is in these cycles, by the way, Marshal Tank, for me to be able to play all of the extracts? It's the first cycle where it's a little bit difficult for us, but after that, it's totally fine. What's your favorite TD game? It was Defense Grid 1. Now, I didn't play a bunch of TD games, and I know that the genre is like... Ooh, Infuse Extract 3. Apply Daze 3 to the enemy unit, moved it back. Probably not going to take that. It was Defense Grid. Now, I know that the TD genre is like very insular, like the TD community, and you know people have played a lot of different TDs, and there are like depths of opinion as to which of them are the best. I literally just like Defense Grid because I enjoyed it. Like, I'm not a connoisseur of TD games. I am one person who has played a little bit of it, and I liked it. I'll say TD, and I even really enjoyed Sanctum 1. I would have enjoyed Sanctum 2, but I didn't get to play it with anyone. Have you enjoyed the pure joy of popping balloons? I have not. That might be a fun thing to take a peek at some point in the future. Soul Crushing Guilt, Ambient Charge, Ancient Resonance. Nah. That's a big ol' nah from me, friends. Pyagro, Invigorating Solution. Invigorating Solution is really good in the first cycle. I'll play Sanctum 2 with you. Same for Sanctum 2. The thing that's been stopping you from playing Sanctum 2, unfortunately, has been that I am Australian, and I live in Australia, and first-person games, especially first-person games that have some shooting elements, are real rough to play between continents, unfortunately. You got some relics, dog? Yeah, we do. I'm not gonna spoil this mid set of relics, but if you've seen Malika, I took all of them at the same time. Invigorating Solution. It's got to be the Invigorating Solution, right? It's got the ability to balance out the Pyagro we have in our first cycle. I was talking about the cycle generation that I really care about. I wouldn't even be sad to get it in the second cycle. It's Invigorating Solution. Not the Merchant of Steel, but it is up against everything else, right? It's up against the dupe, it's up against the removals. What am I even duping at this point, though? I don't even know. Maybe I try and skim by with only 105 pack shards so I don't get more threat in the final area. As for the Merchant of Magic, what upgrades would I take there? Would I consume remove Invigorating Solution? God, I actually might. Other than that, the money and yeah, it's a weird deck in that we don't really care about duping much. We care a little about removing. This is such a nice Twitch chat for having 300 people here. I know, right, Dokupopa? Isn't it a lovely kind of space? I can't take full credit for this, obviously. There is at least 303 other people that are contributing to the vibe at the moment. Much appreciated for maintaining that vibe, y'all. Consume removal. Well, now I get asked to put my money where my mouth is. Gains 7 energy on the first turn of battle. Apply daze to enemy units when they enter the room below the pyre room. That is a huge nerf to us. No spike hits in the first line. Not what we're looking for. Dun Echo can't do anything for us. Improve Firebox. If I get lost luggage, maybe? Reroll. Echo Seedling. The first time each battle, a card with Consume is played, add 2 copies to the hand. So the first time a card with Consume is played is almost invariably going to be a Wildwood Sap. So get 2 more copies of that to the hand. You think I'm going to be sad about that? A little bit, actually. Invigorating Solution, yeah, it'd be a nice one to play early on. We have no ability to make anything intrinsic or any such like that. Honestly, I could see us actually just taking the Pyre Wall and keeping the money, just so that if anything does leak past us, it dies. The spell chain Tune again gives you another copy of the spell that you cast back to your hand. It costs +1 and has Purge. Neat, that Echo Seedling still goes off if Wing Clipping saved the card. Oh, it really feels like Echo should still go off if that's going to happen. Gosh. Reduce the cost of the Invigorating Solution. Consume, remove it. Would I give it holdover? It's 1 energy every single turn, but we eventually kind of escape our energy costs. I could give it holdover. Or I could just 0 cost 2 more restores. That's the play, isn't it? That's the play. That's definitely the play. As for purges, we can take a base Echo out of the deck. I could probably get rid of Ambient Charge, but a lot of the time it's just fine for us, especially in the second cycle. Get rid of the Wildwood Sap that has a cost, and then I'm just going to keep the rest of my money. Firewall. Fine, I'll even take Firewall. Alright. Beautiful. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. We've already got our Holdover Glimmer in the opening hand as well. I can throw it on a bottom line or some such. But I mean, I could throw it on mid line, but it's piercing, so it won't even affect that. I just throw it on the top line for the Rejuvenate trigger, and we just cast it every time now. I care more about Invigorating Solution here. I'll play those in the next cycle. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. That'll do. That'll do. Right. Get the Pyegro out there. Wildwood Sap a couple times. Hey, good of you to finally get out of your shell. That's a phrase I've heard many times in my real life. Less and less as time goes on, which is either inspiring or not. Glimmer. I really wish I had the ability to make some of these cards infused. Would have been nice, but oh well. Hey, Invigorating Solution got preserved. Beautiful. That's what you like to see right there. Down to trample again. Frat, what floor do you typically build your minions on? Because it seems like the top floor lately. It's been the top floor lately for a few reasons. Obviously, the Ember Drain difference over the Daze difference means that I can start taking advantage of things like Resolve triggers quite quickly. It means if any enemies are spawning on the top line, quite simple for us to deal with those as well. And also, a lot of the time, I have been running strategies that require some setup, right? So it's not as simple as I want to set up on the bottom line because I have, you know, a big unit in the front line that's going to be tanking a bunch of stuff. Also, it is worth noting that it's less likely for me to set up on the bottom floor, specifically when I am facing packed sharded enemies, because sometimes I'll see a packed sharded enemy coming, like a Shade Wings, and on the bottom floor, I have to have in hand at the time the solution for it, whereas right now, I have 3 turns to find a solution for it. But a lot of the clans I've been playing have been specifically about consistent setups. And a lot of those consistent setups want to happen on the top floor, so you have the ability to get, like, your egg to hatch before the enemies are up on the top floor, or a bunch of incant triggers to have already occurred, or, you know, play your armor, or play your regen, or those kinds of things. So there's like a mechanical reason, and then there's also a kind of skew reason, both of which that have occurred. Pyro got reserved again, but I'm actually totally okay with that. Purged. Shadow, thank you very much for the Prime subscription for the 11th month, as well as to Zule for the Prime subscription. Enjoy emotes in chat. Welcome back to the Republic, and welcome to the Republic. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. Get him with those. Kraloth as well. Thank you for the Prime subscription. Enjoy emotes in chat. Welcome back to the welcome to the Republic, rather, sir. We're only a month away from being welcomed back. Get him. Echo transfer goes out. Resolve. Backline. I see 2 draw gems. And we're still casting almost everything. In fact, pretty much everything every turn. And the setup isn't even that harsh. Nice. Pyro, Glimmer. Hit him with the Echo Break. That'll do. That'll do. I would love, like, Divinity's hand coming out and taking the train into the void. That'd look perfect. Sometimes he even takes the red or shiny draw gems. Worst case, he takes a yellow draw gem that gives +1 draw and +1 capacity, yeah. There's a couple other draw gems that I've taken. Sometimes the draw gem is bugged and it looks a little bit different to how it usually does. Don't really want to start playing down there yet. That's going to be important. Thanks to all the extra draw this turn, although we don't really have that much energy to cast all of them. I'm hoping I get some consumes here, please. 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 You 50-50 my Tushy. My behind. Absolutely not. That's lies. That's lies and slander. I guarantee goddamn it. Let's Echo Break you. Pop a shelter. Yeah, okay, I got preserved too. Because of course it did. Thank you for finally coming out of your shell a little bit. It's good to see you. Oh, Cycle of Life got consumed on its first play. Everything else never gets consumed. Cycle of Life consumed on its first play, of course. Why would it not be? The Glimmers are healing the backliner as well as the Vial of Tears. Hence my lack of need to do it myself. Nice. Finally actually getting some edge trees out here. Walter Market, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Much appreciated. Alright. Keep on keeping on with basically all the same things we've been playing consistently. Something ain't broke, don't not broke it. Don't unbroken it. Don't re-broke it. If something ain't broke, don't broker it. It's one of those in that area. But I love that we're just keeping them up here on the top line as well. We really did end up with basically perfect relics for this. Artifacts, rather, sorry. Keep saying the wrong one! More consumes would be nice. We're basically just waiting for the final round. Yeah, wave one. Yeah, so we're waiting for the right now. You're so lucky to get that root mask. Definitely pulling along. Definitely doing work. Any knowledge about how the Hope for Peace relic interacts with the purge effects for a spell chained? Ooh. That's a great question. I don't know. That's a great question. And then we let this one resolve. The purge becomes consumed, which is super gross with etch. Oh, okay, cool. It's just rude to set up on the middle floor. Don't punch Divinity in the dink, says Moose Campbell. Moose, I always really appreciate your comments. I've noticed very consistently on YouTube, I'm like, that's a Moose Campbell comment. Hell yeah. It's a funny one. I like it. Sweet. That's another TLD Battle 1 in Covenant 25, continuing our streak. Have a look at the run summary here after. Divine Master cards. Yeah, just the Spike of Life. Nothing else new there, apparently. Although, many of those new to on camera. I think one of those... I think the Thorned Hollow got its Divinity in one of the Steam episodes? One of the runs that was done for the Steam stream for the publisher sale? That would make sense. But alright. Let's check that run summary. Good. It was a good run. Did the sound effect audio bug during the Relentless Resolution? It did. Yes, it did. I noticed that too.